So yeah, we are. There we go. We're live.
We're live. We're live.
We're live.
Hello, world.
Hello, everybody. We're live an hour early. Well, yeah, an hour early.
Yeah.
Instead of 45 or 44 minutes early, but technically we wouldn't be starting for an hour.
That's true. We are an hour. We're actually probably an hour and 10 minutes early.
Yeah. Well, if it's just John and I and we're doing the
hour and a
rant,
half.
but yeah, it was like a day early.
So if everything before the open is kind of unofficial, can we just swear?
Yeah. Let the expletive fly. How many people are like, what was it? Why is he making fun of that? What was that? Like, that was Kramer after being at the dentist, everybody. I wasn't making fun of anybody.
Gotta be careful. Hey, look, everyone. Look. Daylight outside.
Daylight. Yeah. Yeah. So let everybody know. John, our original plan, we originally started doing it at 4:00, the show. And then John's schedule, because of work, and actually, wasn't it, John, the way comic books came out? Yeah. Remember, we were doing it on Tuesday because Tuesdays used to be slow because comic book day came out Wednesday. And
but Tuesday was delivery day. So,
oh, that's right.
You had to wait for UPS.
I had to wait for the delivery. Receive it all, get it ready for Wednesday.
And it was just getting harder for you to get here for 4:00. So we're like, hey. Steve was gracious enough to move it to 5:00, which is 10 o'clock his time, midnight. We're finishing at. So that's why every week, poor Steve's like, I gotta get to work in the morning. But we're like, thank you. And it stinks because we do, after the show, we do like to hang out and talk a little bit. And Steve's always, it's so funny because Steve would be like, I gotta go. And then John and I'd be sitting there chatting and we're getting texts. Sorry, guys, I had to go. Just go to bed. But yeah, so last week, I don't know why, but it just dawned on me. I was like, why haven't we moved it back to 4? Because John does it. It's not his schedule anymore. It's like, for me, I got to get home a little earlier from work, but I can make it. And I'm like, and Steve was like, thank you. I'm like, why didn't you say something?
Well, I'm being tactful.
Yeah.
But, nothing if not polite. But no, it does make it. It certainly makes a difference for me, and it's going to make a difference on Wednesdays. That for sure. There will be less yawning in court, less snoring in police station interviews. So It's all good for me, assuming we don't then end up talking on until midnight.
Well, right, as long as it doesn't still turn into a 3-hour show,
which it might.
Right. Well, because I think I actually thought of this a while ago, but hadn't brought it up because I was scrolling through all our shows and I'm looking. They're like 3+ hour shows, 3+ hour show, 255. I'm like, how are we doing that? And I'm like, oh yeah, we started earlier and went the same length, to the same time. So, yes, Steve had.
Yeah.
So it's now 4 p.m. permanent Eastern time. Yes. So 1 hour early permanent. Well, until, if something happens and John gets
right. I mean,
if John gets a job and we depending on what happens with John's schedule, it could be a different day too. Right. And so, but we'll let everybody know with plenty of notice, just like today, about 45 minutes before.
Yeah. Dom, we've got a hand clap from Dom. He's happy.
Yeah.
That's out early.
Dom, buddy, that's who we were talking about. You, anybody over there in Europe were like, oh my God, everybody an hour earlier. It's like after the show last week, we were like, wow, this is going to, I started doing the math and just thinking like how many people are watching our show live at 10 to 1 a.m. And I'm like, what are people doing? Why the heck? No.
I'm not staying up that late to watch it. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. You're not staying up that late to be on it.
You're right about that too.
Yeah. So exactly.
Steve's a much better man than me because once I've had dinner, I'm done.
But it's what this is. This is 25 years as a criminal defense lawyer doing on call 24/7. And funny enough, this morning at 3 a.m. this morning, I was on call. I had a number of calls overnight. I didn't have to go out, but I had calls. And at 3 a.m., I replied to a tweet because sometimes I can't just go straight back to sleep. And so I woke up then at 6 this morning to a tweet from Todd Anderson saying, Steve, do you ever sleep? It's got to be like 3 a.m.
Yeah.
and I did say to him, well, have you heard the expression that crime never sleeps? Well, neither do the lawyers.
Right. Yeah, you and I have talked at, like, it'd be 3 a.m. for me. I'll still be up for something, and I'll be like, and you'll reply. I was like, oh my God. I'm like, but then again, that's like what, 8 o'clock your time anyways. That's early. But even still, like, even at midnight, I'd be like, Steve's like, I'm up. So.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, you can't be you've got to be a night owl for the work that we do. The people that don't last in this profession, and there are many, just can't deal with the up all night and work all next day, type of thing. But it's just the reality of it. I mean, police officers, often react with surprise when I'm dealing with an interview at 3 a.m. and I said, I've got to be up for my day's work in 3 hours. And they react with horror because they've got a minimum of 8 hours between shifts. And you're like, must be nice.
Nope.
Yeah. So it's fine. So that's why I can go to midnight and it not be a massive problem. I still yawn a bit, but it's not a big deal. But it is nicer an hour earlier. You're not going to get complaints from me.
There you go. So what are we excited about to get to this week before we kick off the show proper?
Yeah, that's it.
What are you most excited about, Steve?
Well, we have a first.
Closing argument.
We have a technological first, don't we, Deej?
What's
week,
that?
You and I both experienced it. Phones in pockets, trailers.
Okay.
Glasses.
Which one?
Apple. Formula One.
Did I? Oh, that. Do you have an image for that?
No. We'll have to.
I got it. Oh my God! Yeah. I'll find an image for that because that is huge. I was like, "What did I missed it? What did I do?" No, I didn't miss it. I watched it over and over. Holy crap! Yeah, that's a big one. I don't know if that's a show title, but that's a big one.
Yeah, it's a technological first.
Is it?
Everyone I've told to about it since this week have been like, "Oh, that sounds great." But of course, only certain people could have experienced it the way we did. Although everyone can experience it on their phone. So that I'm looking forward to talking about.
That's huge. Yeah. And let's keep that one under wraps until we drop it. But yeah, that's a good one. That's huge. Why did you say it?
Oh, did I say it? Did I say it?
I don't know.
Well, you more or less said it.
Might have trailed it.
I didn't hear it.
If
I didn't hear it, it didn't happen.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to slightly raining on people's parade with Kingdom of Heaven.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I have that one as well. I took that in on Kaleidoscape.
Oh, cool. Okay. Well, that should be interesting then.
Yes.
And then also Dom has mentioned one that I want to talk about as well with a certain Hugh Jackman, John Travolta, and Halle Berry.
Yes. Yes.
So that one too.
Big into seafood.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So that lots to talk about. Lots of exciting stuff to talk about. And I know John has been trying to get us to watch something all week that he is now very keen to talk about tonight as well, and I won't spoil it.
Well, yes and no.
Oh man.
No. I mean, I love it, but it's literally,
cool. Okay.
I literally added it because I had nothing to talk about this week. I spent the entire week with my wife on vacation last week, and we watched nothing but like true crime stuff because that's what she likes.
Yeah.
So I was like, I need to have something to talk about. Let's talk about this.
Any English true crime stuff, John? We could just talk about that. Who needs home theater?
Yeah. There was one English couple. I can't remember. It was on Netflix. I can't remember what the name of it was.
Fred and Rose West.
Yes, that one. Yeah, we watched
My
that.
boss was his defense lawyer.
Really? Interesting.
I could tell you all kinds of things about that case off air.
Okay, yeah, we watched that.
Well, we haven't started the show proper. Just share it with
that's
just
all right,
us.
Nobody else is listening.
Nobody else is listening.
Juicy stuff.
Oh boy,
it has never been made public. We won't do it on here.
All right,
I've got some stories for you.
Okay.
And if I tell you, what I can say is, Fred's West himself. They had a bar in their front room. Okay, he's one of the UK's most notorious serial killers.
Right.
In his front room, his lounge, whatever you call it, he had a bar. Okay, literally, a drinks bar.
Right.
And for a number of years, we had that bar in the basement of our firm.
Oh, wow. That's very cool.
As well as the 25 Cromwell Street sign, the sign from his house we had in the.
Was that part of the payment? Like he ran out of cash? He just crap away?
Yeah, he couldn't pay the law. Yeah, he couldn't pay his fees.
Well, he's hawking his
spoiler alert. He, of course, never made it to trial. He did an Epstein.
Correct. Yeah.
And never made it to trial. My boss, I mean, one thing I can say, because you won't mind.
This is the second thing you can say. You already said the one.
Oh, yeah. I've got plenty, but the ones I can
count.
Yeah. We had all this stuff until the official receiver took it all. So they had all that. But my boss, when he was in Scotland, when he heard about it, and we're in the southwest of England, and when he heard what had happened to Fred or what he had done to himself, and my boss, by the way, still calls him dear old Fred. One of Britain's most notorious serial killers.
Right. Anyway, dear old Fred.
Dear old Fred.
He was in Scotland when he found out what had happened to him. And he says, his wife says, he drove for 8 hours nonstop and didn't say a word.
Really?
Yeah, I mean,
interesting.
Lots going on with that.
He was a quiet man.
If you knew my boss, you'd know that's not him. But yeah, so it was a heck of a thing. But yes, many stories I can tell you about that, John, that you will want to hear. But we've got to do those off air.
All right, sounds
excellent. All right,
there we go.
Tales from Steve George.
Oh well, that particular one. Yeah. Oh,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
All right. We ready to get to the show proper?
Go on then. All
right. I almost hit end stream. Whoops. That would not be good. Hey, we're ready to hit it? Nope. All right. Let's get to it.
We are Brightside. Dear.
Hey, Home Theater Nerds, welcome to the Brightside Home Theater Podcast. The Home Theater Podcast, it's all about the experiences, the sights,
the sounds.
The scenes.
I was waiting for Steve. Yeah, I was out of sync there. I was waiting for Steve to go.
There we go. That's right. Got them all in. There it is.
All right.
That's funny.
Let's start that again. Back up.
The sights.
Oh, the sounds.
Jeez, it's still late. Oh my God.
Oh man. See, we changed the order even slightly.
I know.
John's gone to pieces.
It's too early. That's why.
Yep. The sights played by DJ. The sounds played by John. And the scenes played by Steve, Legal Beagle.
Smooth.
Okay. The smooth sounds of the Legal Beagle. Oh boy. Now, how's everybody doing?
Good.
We just come in.
Yeah.
Oh.
More awake this week. So that's
you are.
Yeah. Loads to talk about as well. Loads.
Earlier in the day, it's great. We may go late. We may not. Who knows? We may fight and end early. Who knows? That's happened. There you go.
I don't anticipate that, but
nobody ever does, John. Nobody ever does.
That's trtrue.
Nobody's like, all right, so which time are we
going to fight? Yeah.
Yeah. On the playground afterwards. All right, I'll be there.
Who's the main event? I'll be on the undercard.
Yeah. After school.
Steve always comes in second. After you kick the crap out of each other, I'll take who's left.
Yeah.
That's what she said. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, God.
So, before we say hi to everyone in the chat, I've got a question for you, fellas. I do have a question.
Uh-oh.
I know. Now, I think I know John's answer. Yeah, I think I know John's answer, but I don't know yours, Deej. I don't think.
Really?
Right. Yeah, I don't think so. I'm 99% sure I know John's. All right. What is the most you've ever spent on a single kind of
special edition,
disc?
Just a plain old disc.
You can, and I think we can throw this open to VHS and Blu-ray and DVD and Laserdisc. Yeah, for a single one, not a set, a single disc. What's the most you've ever spent? Because I broke my record this week, and this is why I'm asking.
Yeah, I would have to say
record.
I don't remember any specific title, but I'd have to say it was a Laserdisc. because they were titles that were they were legitimately anywhere from 40 to 60, mostly like $55, and those weren't special edition. Those were just like, hey, it's what new releases, and they come out, and you'd be like, okay, that's it, because that's just what the price was. So I don't remember paying much more than that for any, but like when John spent it on, like you said, you probably know John's as Lawrence of Arabia.
I think you do.
Yeah, you might.
Wasn't it
no, did you? No, he might at Gravity. What'd you pay for Gravity?
No, I didn't pay that much for Gravity. But
I didn't either.
But
back some people
in the day, I paid well over $120 for a movie I couldn't tell you the name of.
Why is it rude?
VHS that I forgot to return to a Blockbuster video.
Yeah, like that. Yeah, like that. Yeah.
So. Wow. That would be the most expensive piece of media.
Right.
How would you have that? About 6 months?
I don't know.
Or you just lost it.
It was lost and I couldn't return. I couldn't find it. But no, other than that, it would be Lawrence of Arabia for sure.
Man.
But I did pay over $130 for a VHS.
They made you lost. Pay that.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. See,
they'd rack up the fees plus replacement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and this is when VHS tapes were like $50 a piece.
80. They used to be 80 was legit. That's just what they cost because you can't stamp those out quickly.
Yeah. I don't think I ever paid that much for a VHS. Like I never paid $80 for a VHS tape, but I paid $50 for.
Yeah. By the time I was buying my own movies, VHS had already dropped down. That, had the sponsorship by Pepsi or Doritos.
It was Batman, right? Batman 1989.
Everybody, Ara just talked about it on HT Guys last week, and he said it was Top Gun. I thought it was ET.
I thought it was Batman, but
no, I think it was before Batman. Batman didn't come out till 89, and it was before. I'm pretty sure it was before that. I know it was before that because I was working in video in 88.
I could have sworn it was
in the summer of 88.
Yeah, it was 89 the first proper sell-through one, wasn't it? Which I think to a sensible price. If you go on YouTube, you can type in. There's a trailer, like a news broadcast that was done from.
And I think it was $29.99, and that was like
it was $19.99, and it was like it was sponsored by Pepsi. When I first started the podcast, I said it. I thought because I always thought it was ET. I was working in a Stop and Shop video. That's when they started getting them, and it was like this was the first one. They called it price to sell, not rent. So it was like price to sell. They were $19.99. Plus, you could rent them. But I just for some reason I remember that one being the promotion, and they sponsored, and it was huge. But when I said that, I had people telling me, no, it was Top Gun. I've heard everybody has it. People said Batman, all these different things. So I don't know. I honestly don't exactly remember because if people have a different recollection, then how can I say?
As in when they became price to buy, you mean?
Price to sell. Yeah. Price to buy it and not rent. Yeah. Because up until what everybody does say is it was because of like Pepsi sponsoring it. So you'd put the tape in. It would play a Pepsi commercial and the movie would start, and they priced it at $19.99 instead of they all used to everything. It was standard like $85 for a VHS, and that's why like the mom and pop, they were super expensive. You only could get one or two titles as a mom and pop store because that's you had to make your money back on that.
Yeah, and, well, my parents won, say in 84, they set it up in 85 and it was rocking by 86, 87. And the biggest ones then, our biggest rentals were Dirty Dancing, Crocodile Dundee, Predators
Cop.
Yeah, well, quite, yeah. And we found with things like Dirty Dancing, because you couldn't buy it, not sensibly, people would rent it and just keep paying and just keep it. They would just keep paying the money. And every week they'd come in and pay a bit more and they'd keep it for another week. And, that's what they would do. But yeah, I vividly recall us having the huge number of titles, 4 copies of Dirty Dancing.
Yeah.
And then like 3 of Crocodile Dundee. And that just was people thought it was
and
great.
That's all you could have because that's all you could afford as a store. And then they'd all be out. And that's why it was so important. Like, bring it back. And yeah, it's they were on HT Guys. They were talking that Beta was, I think it was last week, was the 50-year anniversary of Betamax. And it's like, then they were talking VHS, how that took over and what a change it was. So, but yeah, it was like Rewind. They're like, did you have your own rewinder? Instead of using the machine itself, you had an external. I did. My parents gave me one. It looked like a car.
I was just say I had the car rewinder.
The red. It was red. You popped up like the hood popped open. You slid the tape in. I still brought them back on rewound, but whatever.
Yeah, but again, guys, knowing as you know me in terms of my particularities, I couldn't live with myself if I didn't rewind them. And same with my own videos. It would always, my cassette, you guys call them videotapes. Like we used to just call them videos. And so I would rewind them every time. It was habit. There's no, I'd be as likely to forget my wallet as I would to forget to rewind a video. I just,
some machines automatically did.
I was going to say,
hit the end and it went.
You just hit the end of the tape and it would rewind it and eject it for you. So
true.
Yeah.
So okay, so let's look at the numbers then. Let's go through them. So we've got Scruffy then says, Adventures of Robin Hood, 1938, for $59. They saw you coming, Scruffy.
In 1938, you could buy a house for $59.
Well, no, the movie was from the movie was from 38.
Oh,
not the VHS tape.
Okay, I see.
That's a bargain. Actually, $59 is probably a lot of money back then. But I
was gonna say,
it hadn't even been invented yet, and you got it for $59. All right.
It's early.
Oh God.
So we got that. So Jordan says £40, not including extra delivery for the Australian Blu-ray 3D of Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Scruffy says X-Files complete series. That's not a single disc, Scruffy.
Right.
Yeah, it's got to be an individual disc. Dom says The Fall 4K from Umbrella, €78. So that's that you might have me beat
because otherwise that Star Wars that was 220.
Yeah, big sets were big money.
That's what I'm saying. So I mean, I've spent more, but. No,
what was the Star Wars set on Laserdisc? That was like 200, wasn't it? Back then?
I don't know.
And it only had the 3 movies.
It was only 3 of them. But that would make sense because that's $60 a piece. That's $180. So
and it was
that's a fair bit. Yeah. So Dom says The Fall. But that was a blind buy. Well, I can tell you, Dom, it's a very good film, really good film. But I've got a feeling it's a region locked 4K disc. You might want to just double check.
Really?
That's the Lionsgate one is of The Fall, so I just don't want to upset you, Don, but just double check that, mate, because you might find because I haven't imported it from the US for that reason. So I would have done. So Paul Hurt says, "Stop making sense." Never heard of it. Fancy case, £80. Okay, I don't feel quite so bad now. I'm glad. See, I like this. Problem share, problem halved. You see, Steve at says Sunset Boulevard for $50, and Mikey said $42 for Tombstone 4K. Is that kind of what it's going for over there? I mean,
it's more now because it's not in stock. But it was $42, $43 on Amazon.
Yeah. There we go. Yeah. So Steve, $54 for Sunset Boulevard. Okay. Well, most of them I've got beat then. This week I absolutely smashed my record. Previously, I think it was probably Panic Room, which I said a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
Right.
But I have spent significantly more than that. About $75 for a single disc, which should have arrived today, and I wasn't here, so the postman took it away again. Hopefully deliver it tomorrow. I could have strangled him, but I didn't. You'll be happy to know. Otherwise, there would have been more true crime, John.
Yeah, they would have had to call Steve to
get you out of jail. Yeah. Luckily, I know what to say. But so the most expensive disc I've ever bought by miles, and it should have arrived today, and would have done had I been here. But hopefully, it will be arriving tomorrow. Now, I don't know. I don't think I want to give it away just yet. I'll give it away next week when I've seen it. But it's a film, can I say, that you will both approve of?
Oh, okay. Will it prove that you spent the money on?
Probably not, but you will approve of the film.
Oh, okay.
You will both very much approve of the film. You both love the movie. But I've had to import it, and it's on via eBay, and I've paid an absolute arm and a leg for it. Yeah, about $75. I think I worked out. Yeah, about 50 odd pounds. But it's a new 4K version and Dolby Atmos. So can't wait. So we will see. I'm saying Dom's checking right now. Now I feel bad. I know the Lionsgate one is definitely region locked, but I'm hoping this one's not. Anyway, but there we go. happy.
Nice.
Yeah. Right. But I mean, it's one of those things, though, isn't it? If it's something you want enough, and if you can get it, you do. But I suppose it's one of the things that Kaleidoscape don't do. Not excluding our friend on YouTube, Deej. But Kaleidoscape, they're not going to come out and go, right, this one's $90 because it's because it's got a new box to it, and all this sort of stuff. You're only ever paying for the movie. And whilst there is a pricing structure, and if it's a new one, it costs a bit more, it's never crazy money. They never go.
Well, Lawrence of Arabia wasn't $80.
Was it 80? I thought it was 65 you spent.
No, it was seven. I don't remember exactly now, to be honest with you, but I think it was 70.
It's right.
It was 70. I thought it was $75, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh man, I had 65 in my head for some reason.
But now I don't remember it. I've blocked it out. I mean, it happened before yesterday, so I really don't remember.
Yeah, I don't know what I had for lunch yesterday.
Yeah, I don't.
But yeah, so I did go a bit crazy, but I am looking forward to it. I mean, I think it's worth it. I've got no issue with that. But as I said, I'll hold fire until I review it, and then you guys will know anyway because you'll see the image that I put up. But yeah, I shall hold fire till now. Or till then.
Okay.
All right. Shall we say hi to the chat then?
Yes, please. Let's get to the chat.
Do your job, Steve. Do your job. Right. Okay.
One job.
Yeah, you had one job. Hey, John missed his cue. He only had one line.
I know. All you had to do was say sounds.
I missed it twice.
I know. After
asking for the redo.
Yeah. Pass me the ball. Pass me the ball.
I turned my head the other way.
More takes than David Fincher. Right. Okay. Right. So we've got TSG was in first earlier this evening. Hey, TSG. He's been on a creature feature watch this week. A man after my own heart. So Scruffy's in. Hey, Scruffy. What do you mention? Dom's in as well. Bonsoir, Dom. We haven't met yet. Brightside was in. There we go.
Yep.
Then someone called Steve George dropped in. No idea who that is. Mikey dropped in. Say, hey, Mikey. He's still in, I think, as well. Rach is in. Hi, Rach. Johnny Speakers dropped in. Said, hi, friends. Oh, that's very sweet. Yeah, like that. That's very cool of him. Paul Hertz in. Hey, Paul. We've said hi. Jordan's in. Obs. Hey, buddy. And I saw, Steve At's in the chat. And I think I saw a couple of others. Brent Jones is in. Yeah, early bird special today. Nice. Brent obviously follow us on Twitter because he would know. Anyway, that's fine. It's okay. We won't take it personally. And yeah, I think that's all at the moment. Although looking at those numbers, I think there's a fair few others. So I haven't said it for a couple of weeks. If you are tuning in for the first time, or you are a regular tuner-inner, and hello, then feel free to say hi. Good news. Dom says the fall is region free. Good news. Oh, I feel better now, Dom. Thank goodness for that. Yeah, as I say, the Lionsgate American one is 100% region locked, according to Blu-ray.com. It's one of only 2 or 3 that are. But so it's good to see Umbrella's not. And it's a great movie, Dom. Let me assure you of that. But if you have a problem with heights, if you suffer from vertigo, you might struggle a bit with that film because it plays very much with that fear. But it's a great movie. Eric just said hi. Hey, Eric, how you doing? Yeah, all good. So there we go.
Nice.
Everyone present and correct.
All right. Excellent. Let's get to well, first off, you said Johnny Speakers was in the chat, right?
He was. He is. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Johnny Speakers coming in hot this week on Father's Day. Sent us a large, bought us a large box of popcorn. Thank you. $100 he paid for that large box of popcorn.
Dude.
Because the large, you can put whatever amount you want. So thank you very much. There's more than one way to thank us for what we do. And so thank you very much. You could join Patreon, as I'll get to in a second. But hey, look, you can go to the Brightside webpage. See, I thought I'd pull that up. Actually, let's do it this way. It's actually bigger when you go that way. What the heck? This is weird. This is all screwed up. I don't know. All right, we'll just leave it like that. But yeah, go to the Brightside webpage, Patreon. That link will take you right to Patreon, or you can click on a box of popcorn, and it's $5 for a small, $10 medium, large. You choose your amount, and that's what Johnny Speakers did. So thank you very much. And the patrons, thank you, everybody. Really appreciate it. Yeah. So, Steve.
I'm just going to relax, Steve. You take over.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. You reel me back in, buddy. So we got a message this week from one of our patrons who will remain anonymous right now. But one of our patrons, and I appreciate all our patrons. I appreciate all the feedback, negative or positive. This one tends to lean a little bit towards the negative, and apparently we're not doing enough. And if we want more money, we do more. Like the people that are doing a lot, like the people that are making money. Friends of mine make good money doing this, and he mentioned a few of them. And they're like, be like them, do more. And I was like, It's like, look, everybody, thank you for supporting us. Everybody that knows, like, we do this because we're having fun with it. We're having fun. If you guys want to support us, we really, really do appreciate it. And it's not a joke. If everybody gave $1, I could probably do this full time, right? We all could. I mean, it's like, because I know the numbers. I know how many people are out there listening. And you don't have to. I'm not saying, like, making you feel guilty or anything like that. But I listen to a ton of podcasts, and everybody says, everybody's like, yeah, you just got to keep talking about it, and then it'll happen. And it did. And it's like, that's what happens. But the idea that I have to do more, or we have to do more, it's like, yeah, we want to do more. I just don't have the time. And you got to know how much this takes to do in the first place. And it's not easy. I'm not trying to tell people, like, I'm pat myself on the back or pat us on the back, but it isn't easy. I do the production, but I know on their side what Steve and John do, it's not easy because you have to get yourself, it becomes a chore, right, guys? It's like when you watch movies. But you watch movies before, and you always do. But now all of a sudden, like John knows, it's like, oh my God, the day's coming up and you've been busy and you haven't gotten to it, and you start to feel guilty about it. When as before, you just be like, I just haven't watched something. It's not as big a deal. Well, you feel a responsibility.
I literally said at the beginning of this show,
right?
I added that particular thing to the chat today.
Right.
Because I had nothing to, and I felt bad about it.
Right.
And
it's like, yeah,
because it's like,
yeah.
Right. You feel like it's a responsibility.
Yeah. And you want to bring something every week, and you want to support the show. You want to be there for the listener. You want to do something. We're here to entertain and have fun. And really, we're here to entertain ourselves. It's really what it is. And you guys just get to watch along. But yeah, it's like, stuff like that. It's like kind of makes you go, wow, okay. So, but yeah. So if you'd like to support the show and you like what we're doing, really appreciate it. But if you're trying to get us to do more, it's like, if everybody joined, then yeah, that would probably do it. But because I wouldn't, like, I get paid by what I do. And so I got to go out and make money so I can pay for stuff. And when I say I get paid, Steve gets paid for what he does too, but I'm pretty sure, Steve, your salary, you don't get paid by the criminal.
Well, I didn't like to say.
What's that?
I didn't like to say. No. In fairness, I have a salary, and then when I do on call, we get paid overtime. So
yeah. Okay. So you have. I literally get paid by the car. Like I paint cars. More cars I do, more money I make. So I gotta hustle, and that's what it is. So, but anyways, so that being said. Thank you to all the patrons. Thank you to everybody. All the feedback, negative and positive. I've had plenty of negative over the years, and I appreciate it all because sometimes it gets you to correct some stuff. I still like Midway, even though I got that negative feedback a long time ago about
You mean correct feedback?
Yeah, I know. Oh God.
Funny enough, Teach, one of G. Cornell emailed me today and mentioned something about Midway. And I said to him then, I said, well, funnily enough, if it wasn't for Midway, Deej and I would have never chatted first off, and that would have been that. So
was Midway before Lucy?
Yeah. Midway was the spoilers. Hadn't seen it. Can we have the popping popcorn to mark spoilers? Remember? That was the very first contact we had, first DM, and then it was then from there.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Lucy was way down the line. Yeah, because we'd had.
There's the popcorn.
Yeah, that's it. You brought that in because I said about the, I was looking forward to watching it.
It's a historical movie, Steve. You didn't want spoilers?
Oh, God, no. Yeah. Oh, gosh. I wish he'd just said,
how did it end?
You could have said, save 2 hours. But anyway, I've still not seen it since. I can't find it up in the attic. I was looking the other day. I don't know what I've done with it. Well, I may have just buried it.
Go to the entrance of the attic, look at the furthest point you can see away, and just imagine how you threw it, and that's where it landed.
I might have sealed it in concrete and buried it in the Pacific.
But under your patio.
Yeah. Just remember the arc of it when you threw it. It's like
little callback.
Like it. Yeah. Hey, some of his family have been in building for years. Sorry. Sorry, Deej. We're talking about that. We're going right back to the beginning there.
Yeah.
Let's not start the Fred West jokes. We'll be here all night.
Oh boy.
So, yeah. Oh yeah.
All right.
But yeah. So I forgot what I was saying now. It's gone. Oh yeah. No, it has gone.
Well, you were looking for Midway.
I haven't seen. Yeah, I haven't seen it since. I do need to see it again. I know I do, but I just sooner or later I'll stumble across the movie up in the attic somewhere.
I remember after your criticism of it, because that was early on for me too, and it's like you checked it when people criticize like what you're saying. Like I didn't like it. And you had your points, and you were like, it's this, this, and this, and I was like, because we were just DMing at the time, and I was like, I don't know. But then I watched it with Joe, probably a week after that exchange, and I saw everything you were saying, and I'm like, no, it doesn't bother me. I still had a blast with the movie. I like the way they're dive bombing and stuff. That was actually in, what was the movie I was just watching? We talked about it last week. Was it last week? Yeah. When the plane quietly came down, that reminded me of Midway and how they would dive bomb in. That wasn't quiet, but that was some great, those scenes were some great home theater experiences. No Lucy on your iPhone experiences, but they were pretty good.
That was the first one, but I didn't know it at the time, of course, because we didn't know each other. I don't even really know why I felt the particular need to then DM you about it, because I wouldn't normally, because I didn't know you. And of course, at that time, me saying that, really, you could have taken that to heart, and I would have felt like a right git for doing that, because that's not a very nice thing to do. And so I don't quite know why I even DM'd you to say, but I just
I don't even think you were mean about you weren't even mean about it. You were just giving your opinion on it. Right. And it was like, I didn't like it. I didn't like this, and this, which is that's exactly what I wanted. It's the exchange. It didn't mean that just because I like something, it doesn't mean you're like, doesn't just because you don't like something and I like something. No, neither of us is right. If I like something and I can get you to watch it, it's like, okay. And then you don't like it. Well, if you keep listening, you'll see like, oh, he likes this kind and I'm a little different or whatever. So, but we
then had the Invisible Man things. We then went the other way. So that was like, don't like it.
Yeah.
Like, well, try this. And then it was like, oh, okay.
I hated that movie. And you I 180'd on that big time. I love that movie now. Once you explained to me how to, the perception of it. And I was like, oh my God.
Have you seen that, John?
I have. Yes.
What did you think of that?
No, I liked it. I liked it from the beginning. Yeah.
Yeah. So good. So good. Yeah. I realized you and I have not talked about that. Whereas I know Deej and I have talked about it loads.
Yeah. I watched it when it first would have been maybe before you were on.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, right. Yeah. So,
yeah. Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah. So I guess it just never came up. But yeah, no, I liked it. I did.
Have you got it on 4K disc?
No.
Okay. Worth picking up. It's an awesome disc. It's a really good disc. In fact, I need to rewatch that at some point. I must give that another go.
Not sure if it's on my list or not. I have to let me check. It might already be on the list, but
yeah, man. Oh, so good. It should be a sensible price now as well.
Oh yeah, $13 is pretty cheap.
Ooh, yeah,
I mean it's it's an amp or demo disc.
Yeah,
right from the beginning when you got the waves coming, or you've got the rocks at the beginning and the water, and then it says the Invisible Man, and the waves come right from behind you.
God,
right across the room, and then crash, and then you see the Invisible Man, and then it goes away, and that happens like for about sort of a couple of minutes. It's really clever.
The opening scene, it's a push play demo because of that. And then there's a bunch of scenes throughout the movie because of the nature Invisible Man. Like you can't see him, and now you can hear stuff. So it's like they're all listening. I mean, it's really, really good. But then the story itself, once you have Steve explain it to you, because you're an idiot like me.
No,
it's way better.
Added it to my list, my shopping list.
But it was a horror movie thing, though, wasn't it, Deej? You're watching it kind of as a you're not a massive horror fan, and I'm glad you didn't have that frame of reference that I had, because if you had that frame of reference, you'd have seen the stuff that I'd seen, and that's not what most people should have to see,
right?
Or
But then once I did, I was like, oh man, because some of the stuff I called out, I was like, that doesn't seem right. It doesn't seem real. Like, some of the things that the lead character was doing, I was like, that doesn't seem real. And you were like, no, that's how they are. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, we had a serious talk about it. And then I going back and watching it and then being like, and then just the title, The Invisible Man. It's like just that idea of like, you're always looking over your shoulder. You're always worried about that. It's like in real life, the person isn't invisible, but to these people it is, because it's just a constant threat.
Yeah, and every bit is insidious. You can
right.
Again, you can control and coercively control someone without being right next to them. You don't have that's a very antiquated
you just have
way
that
of
fear. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But that's one of the amazing things about that film, is the different layers on it. Whereas Wolfman just doesn't have that, not like that. But so many different ways of reading that film. I think it's great. I would love a sequel to that. I really would. If you're listening, Lee Winnell.
More Invisible Man.
Invisibler Man.
Invisibler Man.
The only problem with that, it would be a cash grab. I could see right through it. But anyway. So, but anywho, right. All right, moving swiftly on.
All right. Swiftly, I don't know.
I got it, Steve.
All right. What do we want to start with first?
Well, don't you want to do your haptic thing there, Deej? Should we do that?
My haptic thing? Well, we have it. I also have all the other images up. All right, you want to lead off with that?
Well, because it's more of a technological thing, isn't it? Rather than it's an experience, isn't it?
The experience is great. It's just short.
Yeah,
right?
It is. But it's groundbreaking.
All right, here we go.
Hey, Sophia. It's quite early. Okay.
All right, we're gonna lead off with Steve. Hit me up. He's like, Deej, get the glasses. Put this in your pocket. I'm like, what? I didn't even get that part. Why? I'm like, put this in your pocket. Sit back and relax. I'm like, what? You like? I didn't understand, right? Yeah. So I texted you back. I'm like, I'll do it as soon as I get to work. Because I was driving to work, and I'm like, so I get to work, pull up, put up my sunshade on the front window, get my glasses on, and the link didn't the link you sent me. It didn't go right to this. What I'm showing on the screen, it didn't go right to the Haptic trailer. It just went to the trailer. And then I'm like, now what is he talking about? And then like light shines on yonder rock. And I'm like, oh, Haptic. I gotcha. That's why I got to have my phone in my pocket. And I'm like, what the heck does that mean? And then I put it on, and it took me like 3 tries of watching the trailer. And it wasn't even the right trailer. It was some other, it started differently. And then, which was kind of cool the way it set it up for me, right? I didn't get to go right to it. I got to watch a regular trailer a couple times through the glasses, which was great. Don't get me wrong. That was great. We'd probably be talking about that right now because this movie looks phenomenal.
It does.
And then it finally clicked. I finally got it to work on my phone. I'm like, oh, the Haptic trailer. Let's go. And and you're like, oh my God. And I how many times did you watch this in how many different ways?
4.
Yeah, at least. I was like, all right, let me try. Now, on this shirt, all right, I don't have the work shirt I have that's like ours, right? I have a zipper here in the chest that goes sideways so I can stuff stuff in like this. So I watched it like that. I watched it within my pocket. I watched it in my hands. I'm like holding it up against, oh my God. Because where it really matched up really well was the engine noise, because that's that the same vibration your phone can give you. But it did have some nice thumps to it. Like you said, the heartbeat was a nice touch. There's so much, and you're just like, oh, never mind. We've talked ad nauseum about the glasses, but you're just like, I'm waiting for people to come up next to my truck, and I'm just in there.
Well, let's tell people what it is in case they don't know what we mean by haptic trailer.
Yeah.
So earlier this last week now, I don't know what day it was. I can't remember. Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever it was.
Last
so
weekend.
I was at university. I was doing some assessments and stuff, advocacy assessments for some baby barristers. And as I was there, suddenly I was scrolling Twitter as one does, and Tim Cook tweeted out and just said, prepare to experience this movie like nothing before. And then in the link underneath, it said haptic trailer. And I'm thinking, what? So I followed the link, and sure enough, it said it there. And I thought, well, there's only one way I'm going to experience this. So I had the glasses, obviously, plugged them into the phone, sat back, and just let it rip. And you've got a heartbeat. And the phone then provides the vibration for the trailer, which I don't think has ever been done before. I've never seen it before. And so, on a phone or anywhere else. And so in goes the phone in the pocket, and you then get the engine revving, you get them changing the wheels. So when the car drops and the wheels change, that you can feel that too. There's a heartbeat moment in slow motion where you can feel the vibrations. And it is surprisingly immersive, especially on, the glasses, big screen, and you can then feel it. It's bananas. I don't know why no one thought of it before, to be honest, but it's very cool. And so if anyone out there has missed that tweet from Tim Cook, I haven't seen any articles about it. I haven't seen anyone talking about it apart from us. And of course, immediately I had to text Deej, just try this out. Because I think it's a very different if you're just holding your phone and looking at it, but having it on a big screen and doing it's just very cool. And so I haven't seen anybody else talking about it. But I think this is a bit of a real jump forward. This is a different way to get you to engage with content, which is what it's all about. I think it was really cool and could be the future.
That's, you and I were talking about that briefly through text right afterwards. Again, couldn't wait to talk to you today, and of course forgot about it till you mentioned it. That's why I had to pull it up. Like, you mentioned it, I'm like, I need an image. It's like you can't find the haptic image anywhere because it's really only on your phone. I tried to pull it up on my laptop, and it won't work through a laptop, so you don't even get the option. It's kind of like Atmos won't show up if you're on the road, right? Actually, what I'm finding now is, especially with the glasses, every time I pull something up, instead of Atmos, it says spatial audio, which is great, which is basically on the road Atmos. Fantastic. But you and I were talking, like, I hate to say, I love my home theater. I'll always have a home theater. Giles and I joke about it. He tells me we're going to have screens on the wall. I'm saying, no, I need a light behind me. I need something projected. It's just the feel I want, right? But again, when I was at Cedia, I experienced that wall, and I ran right to Giles and went, you were right, I'm wrong, this thing's awesome, but I still want the projector, right? I experienced this, I'm like, nobody needs a theater. 10 years from now, we'll have the vest, you'll have all the bass you want, you'll have everything. You'll just be sitting there watching a movie. It'll be, you could literally just, you could be at home, and instead of having all that gear, everybody just buy, instead of 3D glasses, everybody put on this little vest, sit down, and it's the experience. You could do, did anybody ever do, did you guys do Bug's Life down any of those movies down in Disney, where it's like, it's the haptic, you get the seat, the bugs will run on the
4DX thing, whatever they call it.
And it pokes at you, and the water sprays on you. You can do that at home with one of these vests. And they don't have a vest. You and I were just speculating, but it seems to be, if this is where it's going, and you could have everything on your phone right there. It was awesome. The image quality is awesome, and that's only 1080. What's it going to be like when we go to 4K and we get full, immersive spatial audio with haptic feedback to the, it's insane.
It's crazy, isn't it? And also then suddenly, how we talk about, sorry, John, I know we keep banging on about this, mate, but
all right, no worries.
But if you think about it, suddenly then, I was saying £450 over here for these glasses is expensive. It's a luxury. But if you can afford it, it's great. But if someone said you can have a 147-inch screen wherever you go with spatial audio, with haptic feedback for £450, you're suddenly thinking, well, why do I need this thing on the wall, or why do I need these speakers, and how much are they a pair, and why?
Right.
If the idea here is mass market, which it is, there's no question about that. This is where we're headed with it. Then suddenly $450 is a steal, isn't it, compared to all the other stuff? And so if you're trying to get someone into this thing, they're going to go, well, I'll have the $450 rather than the 32 grand I've just spent on the theater that I can't take with me. And when I'm on holiday or on the beach, I can't use it. Whereas this I can take to work, a
lot less troubleshooting. You got to wire it to your phone for now. It's probably going to be wireless eventually, but a lot less troubleshooting. You don't. Hey, Sophia, how you doing? There we go. That girl, Sophia, her name changes every week.
It does.
It's all of that stuff is it brings the theater experience to the masses more so than our theaters. But that being said, let's bring it back to we love our theaters. It's like Field of Dreams. You build it and they'll come. It's like you put on a pair of glasses, you're really becoming a hermit because it's just you, right? It really does eliminate that group experience. Now, we all know that we put these theaters together in our homes, and in 95% of the time, it's just us anyways, but there is a chance you put in more seats so you can have family members, friends come over and you can experience stuff together. But like you said, for $400 or $500 to be able to take this on the road, if you're a home theater fan and you don't think you're going to have a theater or want that, like you said, absolutely is a great way to go. If you have a home theater and you want to take stuff on the road, it's definitely a great way to go. It's just, and now with this haptic thing, it's like, there you go. Take more money. I mean, where's the vest? Where's the underpants?
It's a matter of time, isn't it? Matter of time. I mean, I had a
I don't know what content you're watching, Deej.
Hey, not with haptic feedback.
Yeah,
doesn't matter.
Where are you putting that phone, Deej?
Yeah, doesn't matter. I just watched them. I just watched it a few times. It's all right. Just watch.
I thought you had a big grin on your face.
Brad Pitt is a good-looking man.
He is. I had a thing on Saturday. There was a big Premiership rugby final, massive game. My team happened to be playing in it with a chance of winning for the first time in 30 years. And the kickoff was at 3, and I was court duty. Right? And I put a tweet out saying I better be done by 1 or else. I finally got out of court at 3 minutes to 3, and I was furious. Not fast, just furious. But fortunately, again, right, so thinking, what am I going to do? In the old days, off to a quiet place and watch this on a little phone screen, and that's it, something I've been waiting, all these years for. But no, back to the car. It was a boiling hot day. On goes the air conditioning, on go the glasses, plug it into the phone, seat back, 147-inch screen, watch the whole match. It was awesome. And it was awesome enough for me to tweet that out, and X-Reel now follow me on Twitter, not just their marketing manager.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
There you go.
But it was, honestly, it was fantastic. Air-conditioned comfort, can of Red Bull. Thing up 147 screen.
I've done the same thing. You have it on and you're like, you go for your drink and you're like looking out the bottom of the glass.
Exactly. I've got a drink problem.
Yeah, exactly.
You need one of those hats with the cans on both sides.
Yeah.
Don't tempt me, John.
In the straw.
Oh God.
Yeah.
It's like,
but it was so cool.
Yeah, and when you use, like, I use the AirPod 2s, right?
Mm-hmm.
AirPro 2s or whatever. It's like when I did this or anything I do, I'll pull up into a parking lot at work, and just before I get to work, I'll like watch something. But the noise cancellation too. To your point, it's like it'll be 80, 90 degrees outside, and I'm in the air conditioned truck, and all of a sudden there's no sound. You're just like nice and comfortable. I mean, it's totally immersive. And then you shut it off, and it's like you take your earbuds out, and you're like, wah, you hear the truck and the breeze. You're like, oh, life is hell. I'm just going to go back into this world.
Well, the only issue I had with this, the only thing I did have to keep furtively looking around for was for the traffic warden. The ticket meter maid, you guys would call it. We call them traffic wardens. Yeah. And it's like, because I hadn't paid for the parking, and this time I did run out from court. So every now and then I had to sort of put the transparency mode on, quickly look around, make sure he wasn't stood outside writing a ticket, and then put it back on, and away I went.
Yeah. It's like, I'm literally thinking of getting my windows tinted on my front my front windows because the light coming in on the side is just. Yeah. I've got the window shade for the front. Now I need to do the side windows. I was shopping online for like a drop pull down. Driving around.
Blinds.
Toyota Tundra with Venetian blinds on the side. It's like,
do you know how you make a Venetian blind?
Oh God!
Poke him in the eyes.
Yeah.
All righty. So let's
file it.
Oh boy, here we go. All right. So that was F1 the movie. Did we ever actually? You said you're going to. Did you even say that?
Oh,
I don't know if you said F1. F1 the movie haptic trailer. You could do even without the glasses. You could still do it. You get the. Oh, it's so much fun. So much fun. I think. Hey, Todd. Todd Anderson did the chat. Todd from AV Nirvana. Let's see. What was it? Mikey, I can't find the note, but Mikey Schramm said he just paused the show, watched it, and came back. Said that was awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's really
cool.
It is really cool. I wonder if it would work if you cast it to your screen. So if you've got an Apple TV,
probably.
Your phone, put it in your pocket and cast it to the screen. Could you then watch it practically then? I wonder if that
should. Yeah, it should. I don't know. I don't know if it would feel the same though, because you're looking. I don't know. Maybe with the glasses, because it's kind of the same as glasses, but it's not. I just feel so much more immersive with the glasses and having that. It's
cool. I know we keep going on about it, but it's because it's so cool. Yeah, man.
It's so cool. It's cool because we can, like you said, your home theater it's as close as you can come to having a home theater on the go.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So
very, very cool. Have we sold you yet, John?
Yeah, I've been sold.
Man. Yeah. Well, the marketing manager and Trill themselves now follow me.
Yeah.
If I get some free kit, then we're not sponsored. Let's just make it clear.
No,
if at some point they offer me some, then John, they're winging their way straight to you, buddy.
Yeah, man. I've been sold for a while, but
it'd be so cool to see what you make of it. Yeah, because I think because Deej and I love this stuff, and we get excited about this. But you're much more sensible about this stuff, I think. And so I think I'd really be curious to see what you make of it. And again, you've got the biggest screen of all three of us as well. So I wonder whether you'd go, it's near as good as my screen.
Well, it's funny. You keep
actually, it's really cool.
It's funny because you keep saying like yours, like 147-inch screen. Mine's supposed to be like it's supposed to be max 135, but it really just goes by. Yours actually goes wider. That's all it is. It's like yours will have a wider field of view, so that by perspective or whatever, it'll give you 147. But like I showed when I went to when I was in that auditorium for the dance thing, that was a 200-foot screen I'm looking at, because it literally, like by perspective, it looked like it was covering the entire stage, like a real theater. So it's like, but I come into a room and I can make that bigger on the wall. And it's like, I have a 110-inch screen in my theater and it's bigger. It's a 137-inch screen or even bigger. It really is depending on your surroundings that's going to make it feel whatever size you want it to feel.
Yeah. So very cool. Very cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Really cool.
Right. So we've got Sophia in, and I can see what you've got queued up there.
Yeah. We've had that for a couple weeks, right?
Oh, yeah. About 3
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we might as well get to that. And what?
Todd's still going again. I have mentioned that tweet, Todd, earlier in the show. So someone get a mirror and see if Steve can see his reflection. Check for bite marks. I'm 99% sure he's not slept the last decade or so. Hey, we started in the daylight, Todd.
I was going to say, I can't say when we started, there was daylight streaming through his window. So
right.
I did not turn to dust.
He wasn't smoking.
No.
It's very European.
Yeah, I meant like
very European. Yeah,
on fire.
So here we go. Mikey Schramm says, "I just cast the trailer up to my TV. It didn't work. I was hoping the haptics would transfer to my bass shakers. They didn't. That would be cool too. Yeah.
Matter of time.
Cool. Yep. I'm just thinking of the trailer, that Mission Impossible trailer. When Henry Cavill, cocking the fists and that bass, that because I saw that in a Dolby Cinema, and that's like, oh my God, I gotta test my SVS subs on that one. And it's like, so have that one. Like, oh my God, have a heart attack.
John Mensor just said, "Hi, John." Just said he got the extra.
Oh, John, sorry, buddy, I was supposed to call him back.
ordered the pros. Reflections from my T-shirt too annoying. Okay, I mean
that could happen. Yep.
Yeah.
If you're in a really bright area, if you're, that's why you need to that's why I put the sunshade in my truck. But yeah, you could actually see, you can, if you're wearing something, you'll see that there. But on mine, I forget what the name of mine was. What was
mature ones?
Mature, that's right.
Yeah.
I just if I'm in a really bright environment, I brighten the brightness on it, and it really, I mean, it's awesome. It compensates. The black levels are great, and but if I'm in a dark room, I lower it down because it would be like, it feels like it's like 4,000 nits. You're like, oh my god, that's bright.
Burn your retinas. So the arms on the ones move, so you can actually change the angle of the reflection if you want to. Just
nice.
You just do it. So if it is a problem, you can do that. And I don't think everyone knows that you can do that. But yeah,
Steve, we're all gonna be sitting in a parking lot with blinds on, and like the a black
like a barbershop.
People getting flat black barbershop. Like, all right, what are you doing? You're like, I'm blacking out my room. It's like, we got Batman sitting over here in a red Tundra, paint bumpers.
I'm Batman.
Exactly. Oh god,
awesome.
Stupid ass.
Solve one problem,
home theater.
Create another.
Oh jeez, just put a bag over your head.
Execution.
Why did I do that? You put the glasses on, put a black bag over your head, and just sit there.
Yeah, you're gonna get arrested.
Oh god, sit in my back seat like I don't know what I'm doing. I've been kidnapped in my own truck. Oh my god. Yeah. Paul Hurt, the Batman cowl would work. Oh god. All right.
So come on.
We've gone on a tangent. At least it was home theater related. We weren't talking like,
Yes, indeed. Oh yeah. So anyway, I've been looking forward to talking about this.
Gardening. So all right. Well, let's get ready. Here we go. Let's talk a little bit. Steve.
Yeah, so this is Lilo and Stitch in theaters. This is the live. When I say live action, I mean Stitch is still CG, so it's not really live action. But anyway, it's a kind of quasi version.
Oh, I thought it was a live action version of the people from the restaurant.
Well, hey, 2 thumbs up. Oh, maybe not.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, produced by Henry Winkler.
Hey.
Nobody can see us right now. You and I, we can see each other backstage, and we're doing all this, and nobody can see it.
Thank you. They could see. Yeah, right.
No, they couldn't. Now they can.
Man. Hey. Right.
All right. Okay. Disney's Lilo and Stitch, only in theaters, May 23rd.
That's how long
still there.
Well, it is making all the money. I think it's nudging near $1 billion now, isn't it?
Oh, wow.
And the funny thing is, because of it's quite a small story, quite contained, that actually it only cost about $100 million to make. So Disney are seriously happy with this. So there's bound to be more. Okay, so guys, have you seen the cartoon, the original? Say yes, say no.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I love the original. I really do. I've seen it many times. They haven't released it in the UK on 4K yet. It's out there in 4K, and I need to get it. I will definitely pick it up because I love that film. It's something about the music, the Polynesian music. It speaks to me as a Kiwi. It's the Antipodean thing again, John. It's kind of my part of the world, and I love that sort of that kind of music. I think it's a great film. As I said, I as a 50-year-old man, I have no problem with saying I love the animated Lilo and Stitch. So seeing this, and I went to this with a degree of trepidation because our behind the scenes Disney source had flagged some issues when I spoke to him. And so I was a little worried about it, but I still needed to see it. And I am pleased to report it is a different beast. There are some changes to this. There's some quite significant changes here and there, but the core of the story remains about Ohana means family and the lovely line, which, I am going to spoil because we should have seen it by now. Not this, but the other one. And this is the remake, so it's fine. Is the Ohana means family, and it says broken, but still good. And I love that line. I think that line is fantastic. And I love the way Stitch says it. So the core of the story is the same. There are some changes, there's some additions, but the main characters and everything else are the same. The music has been tweaked and changed, which is not great, but it's not a big problem. And overall, I really, really enjoyed it. And I will be picking this up day one. Again, as a 50-year-old male, I'm quite happy to say I really enjoyed it. So I will pick this up day one, and on 4K disc, it will be great. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing it again. And of course, all the Hawaiian locations will look amazing in 4K. I'm sure they will. And the sound is going to be great. So highly recommended this. I thought it was fantastic. And if you like the original one, then guys, when it hits Disney Plus, because neither of you are going to buy this like I would. Yeah. When it hits Disney Plus, then definitely give it a watch. And John, you've got a perfect excuse with the granddaughter. So
I just saw the first one a week ago.
Oh, did you really? What, for the first time?
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, we watched it last week.
Oh man, that's awesome. Did you enjoy it?
I did, yeah.
Oh, I did enjoy it. Good. I did. But interestingly, Disney have said they have softened the edges on this one, because in the first one, like, Stitch is basically using Lilo as a human shield for about the first half of the movie. I mean, there's no question about it. He's like, kill her, not me. Right. Whereas they've softened the edges in this. He's not that bad in this, but although I think that's where a lot of the humor comes from. But it's still very, very good. So yeah, when it hits Disney Plus, and I don't think it's going to be long, because Disney are going to make a killing on Disney Plus with this as well. Yeah. It's well worth seeing. So definitely, make a beeline for it. Did you watch it with the granddaughter?
Yes, yeah, we.
Oh, and did she enjoy it? Did she watch it?
I mean, she doesn't. She's in and out.
She's
obviously,
tiny, isn't she?
14, yeah, she's 14 months, so she doesn't have the attention span for all of it. But she watches. Yeah, she gets involved for a little while, and the music, she, whatever we're watching, if there's music, she really gets into it. So, but yeah, she enjoyed. Yeah, she enjoyed it. She told me later that she really liked it. So.
Oh, I see. That's it. Right, that's it.
Yes,
we need her on the show.
Yeah.
When's she coming on?
Yeah. About
John
months.
will be played by.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll bet she can say the sights and the sounds in order.
Probably on time too. Yeah.
Yeah. we need somebody there with a cue card for John.
Yeah.
Hold it up. It's me. I'm on.
So yeah, really cool, guys. Really enjoyed this. This is what really very highly recommended. Cool. and making all the money with good reason.
Nice. Yeah. All right.
Sophia's seen it. Sophia, if you're still in the chat, let us know what you think of it. She's not seen it?
Not yet.
Okay. Oh, right. Okay. Well, fair enough. All right.
No.
One to look forward to.
I know that. Yeah. So, let's see. What do you want to do? Yours, John? Because I had another one, but I don't have an image, and I hadn't finished the movie. I got like another 45 minutes left of it.
I know which one that is.
Huh?
I think I know which one that is.
No. It's
right,
Netflix.
Okay.
Netflix.
Not that one.
Yeah, no, I finished the one that you and I will talk about. That's the only one I have. But yeah, you want to do yours, John?
Sure.
All righty then. Here we go. In a way. Oh boy. Remove. Boom. Boom. There you go.
All right. So this is the HBO Max original Duster. I think, yeah. So it's been out for about 5 weeks, because episode 5 came out last week. I'm seeing from my screenshot. So it's relatively new. This is a show that I came to, I don't know, there was already 3 episodes out, I think. I heard it on a podcast, actually. Somebody was talking about it, and it sounded like something I would enjoy. And I don't really hear too many people talking about this show, but this show is great. It takes place in the 70s. It's like, your classic bad guy hero, that you're, rooting for, even though he's doing some not cool things. And it's got car chases and, everything you would expect from a 70s, early 80s TV show, Friday night TV show.
Starsky and Hutch type.
Starsky and Hutch, Dukes of Hazzard. Again, there's a lot, the car is I tried to see what year it was before the show. I Googled it and they didn't say. But it's a Plymouth Duster, 70s model. And it is like entered for me the conversation about like which classic movie or TV car would you want to drive, because this thing is cool. It is
a
really
wing
cool.
on the back, isn't it? Like a spoiler and a wing on the back of it.
Yeah, and it's got like the on the hood, the like exhaust, whatever
the intake.
The intake, whatever on the hood. But what's cool about it is it takes place in the 70s, and it kind of like he rubs elbows with like famous people. Like there was a scene where an episode where he was trying to steal Elvis's blue suede shoes from a party at his house. And, you had the Colonel was there and Adrienne Barbeau was there, different actresses and different things. So it's pretty cool. It stars Josh Holloway. You guys may know from Lost. Played Sawyer on Lost. And I think this is, I don't see him in a lot. I don't know that he's really had any leading man type roles. But he is that here, and he's very good in this. This show was kind of made for him because he looks like that 70s type of guy. But anyways, super cool. A really cool nod in this show, which I don't think is spoiling too much, but there's an FBI agent whose wife is played by Adrienne Barbeau. And then, of course, he runs into a young actress in one of these scenes who is, Adrienne Barbeau, but obviously played by somebody else. So I just thought that was kind of cool that they kind of both popped up in the same episode where, a little bit meta. But anyways, great show. Can't really recommend it enough. It's super fun. Again, as far as the home theater part of it, as you'll see from the screenshot here, it's 4K UHD, Dolby Atmos, Dolby Vision. I don't have any of that because I don't pay for that on Max. So I don't have that much to speak about. But even without all that, in 1080p with 5.1 upmixed, those you can hear those cars and it's pretty good. I imagine if this thing was, on physical media or if you were watching it with Atmos and all of that stuff, this would be pretty cool. So,
cool.
Yeah, I don't know where you could check it out. See, I tried to get these guys to check it out. But since it's on Max, I don't know where it's playing.
Normally that would be on Now TV. Jordan will be able to tell us. Jordan, have a look and see. I haven't got Now here, but I did check out the opening, and I think kind of some clips from an episode as well on YouTube. Okay. That's how I know the car and kind of knew that it was Josh Holloway as well. And it does look fun. It does look in a kind of I don't mean this in an inappropriate way, but like a sort of blaxploitation Shaft kind of way, but without that kind of thing, which is a lot of fun when done well. So it does look like a lot of fun. Is it kind of comedy as well, or is it more?
It is. It's dark comedy, or it's definitely a.
J.J. Abrams wrote.
J.J. Abrams produces, I think, all of it.
Explains a lot.
He's a writer. There's him and Latoya Morgan in the first episode. All three episodes are him and J.J. Abrams.
Brian Keith plays kind of the
Keith David.
Keith David. Keith David. Keith David plays like the head of the crime family, and he's great in this too. But yeah, it's your action adventure comedy kind of. Again, it feels a lot like like Dukes of Hazzard, like a Friday night fun TV show. Although again, it's R-rated because it's on Max. And again, for me, I don't know how you felt about it, Steve, but for me, it's a no skip intro. Like when the credits and the opening sequence runs, I watch it all the way through because it's super fun.
It does seem to have that sort of nostalgia value too. It feels like you say. It feels like you're back with your TV tray on your lap, watching the kind of watching these things.
With my TV Saturday dinner and my Salisbury steak and mashed potatoes.
There you go.
And the Star Wars lunchbox.
That's right.
Yeah, with the Salisbury steak, mashed potatoes with the piping hot apple pie in the middle.
Yeah, with that brownie.
Yeah, the brownie that was like burned.
Singe your mouth out.
And hey, surprise, Greg Grunberg's in it too with the J.J. Abrams movie.
Greg Grunberg is in it.
He's in everything J.J. Abrams does.
So unfortunately, Jordan's saying no UK release yet. Maybe to be like The Bear, because like The Bear came a few months later for you guys.
It did.
But anyways, I really enjoy it. So I think anybody that has a nostalgia for that type of programming will really enjoy this. Yeah, get a kick out of it. So.
Oh, nice. Oh, that's well worth knowing. Yeah, that's good. Okay. Well, again, it might show up on YouTube more than there may be more episodes, because if you can't get it over here, someone will put it up.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm sure there's ways to see it over there since it is already out on the airwaves, but I don't condone or recommend that.
Oh, of course. Yeah. If you do such a thing.
Yeah. Nobody I know would do that, but
no, absolutely. All righty. Before we get into trouble, moving on.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, exactly.
Take it down from YouTube.
Exactly. I just know I was looking to see if anything was coming to Kaleidoscape for that, because sometimes they drop early.
Oh yeah,
not there. But I
definitely would be fun to watch on Kaleidoscape.
Yeah. But I did just notice that Jurassic Park, the original, got 4K Dolby Vision on Kaleidoscape today.
Oh, nice.
Just dropped it. And you know what else got it? The other day, the Dark Crystal.
Oh, really?
4K Dolby Vision from was that 82, I think.
Oh yeah, early.
Yeah. I wonder how that's aged.
I don't know. Yeah,
I don't know, but I was kind of interested.
I tried to watch the show recently that they had. I couldn't get into it at all.
So, yeah, I think it's one of those.
That might have been HBO as well. Yeah.
It's one of those with sort of rose tinted spectacles. You don't.
Yeah, I don't know if I would go back and watch it if it would be.
Yeah. See,
I don't know. If
I still haven't rewatched Krull, which you mentioned.
Oh, now Krull.
I can't bring myself.
Krull was awesome, man.
That's it. I just can't bring myself to it because I loved it as a kid, and I'm just so worried that if I watch it again, it's going to be awful.
I mean, it is.
And it'll just
it is awful.
We used to do,
but it's awful good.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of like Clash of the Titans.
That and Beastmaster.
Beastmaster, yeah.
And I paid quite a bit for that 4K disc too, by the way. That was like $40-something.
We did but years and years ago. It was just, it had to be like Blu-ray, maybe, or it could have been DVD. It was so long ago. But we used to do movie night, and like every Sunday we'd go through the family and everybody rotate who got to pick. And it got to be too much pressure because they didn't want to pick one and have it go bad. And I think the movie that did it was, I believe it was Never Ending Story. That's the one with the big stuff.
Atreyu.
Yeah. So Jen was like, "Oh my God," she loved that when she was a kid,
but haven't seen it in decades.
So she's like, "Oh, she was just so excited for the kids to experience it, and we put it on, and the kids were like, and the kids were young, and they were like, "Ma, what were you on? This is awful." It didn't age well.
I haven't seen it in a long time.
But it's so hard too, because like the pacing back then was so much. You watch acting now, it's so much faster. It's so much, the timing's so much better, more realistic. Back then, you watch sitcoms and they're like, people walk in the room in a sitcom, "Hi," and everybody goes, "Hi," and it's just so. Yeah, exactly. Like that. It's like so staged out that you're like, it's slow. So kids that are used to today's content, they try to watch something older and they're like, what is going on here?
I had that experience with Short Circuit not that long ago on Blu-ray that I showed to someone age appropriate. It's like, this is awesome. They didn't agree.
I hunted far and wide for, remember Iron Eagle?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Todd and I talked about it on the show. That's why I call him Iron Eagle.
Yeah, Lou Gossett Jr.
Yeah. I loved that movie. And then you watch it and you're like, this did not age well. This is awful. Like it came out the same year as Top Gun.
Oh yeah.
And you watch the two of them and you're like, huh?
It's a Top Gun ripoff. It was like it was a clone of Top Gun.
Yeah.
They were done. They were done kind of, it's like
but they came out at the same time. It's like it was hard to say it was a ripoff because they literally came out the same year.
Oh, right, did they?
Yeah. You look. I think they both came out in '86.
Oh, right.
If I remember right.
Oh, right. Fair enough. I thought it was a ripoff. I thought it was done kind of Top Gun looking so good. Let's have a school one. It's exactly the kids and they're like, the kids version. But yeah, it was like that was that movie. I still like it, but you try to watch it on the big screen, you're like,
Oh my God, this is bad.
I remember someone not that long ago not thinking The Goonies was an absolute stone cold masterpiece. Can't imagine who that was.
It is
Tony.
not.
Who could that have been?
It is not.
But again, I saw it for the first
nice
time.
You guys.
At 54 years old.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Oh, that film. Oh,
yeah. I have no nostalgia for it.
Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah. Yep. It was part of my upbringing, that film. Oh, I love that movie. Every frame.
It was not part of my upbringing. That's what
you would have been. So what was it? 85, The Goonies, wasn't it?
Yeah, it would have been 15.
15, yeah.
Yeah. So really, we were a little older for that. It was
whereas I was 10. So it was like, oh, these kids are doing what I would do.
You were looking up to those kids where we were like, we were the older kid in the movie. So we were just kind of like,
you were the Josh Brolin character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see, speaking of movies, like, did you ever see Outsiders? Did you see that in the theater?
Me?
Yeah.
No.
The Outsiders?
No.
S.E. Hinton with that Tom Cruise, Patrick Swayze, Rob Lowe.
Yeah, the Rat Pack. The Rat Pack, what they called them.
God, it's crazy. Yeah, all the people in that. That's a great movie. All right. What do we got next? You want to hit the one we're talking about, Steve?
Do you want to do?
Or do you want to do another one
that we've both seen last, and then we'll do. Okay. So if I do, because I did sort of just about promise Dom the one with Johnny T and old Huey J.
There we go.
That's the one. Yeah.
There we go. Here we go. There we go. Here we go. And right. Go, Steve.
Ready. Okay, so that is a pixelated image. Right, sorry about that, guys. Moving menu.
I'm sure everybody on YouTube is going, oh, my eyes.
So this is the Arrow 4K UHD DTS HD 5.1 Master Audio version of Swordfish. 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 The 2001 classic Swordfish. Now, how many times have you seen this, guys? Tell me, over 100 each.
Oh no.
Oh God. I almost watched it when I saw you drop it in.
More than 5, but not more than 100.
No, okay.
I've seen it so many times.
I've seen it many times. Yeah.
And the reason I would be willing to bet most people have seen it many times. It's the reason I've seen it many times. I reckon I've seen this probably over 50 times, right? And the reason for that is because, of course, if you cast your mind back to those hazy, lazy, crazy days of HD, DVD, and Blu-ray, this was one of those that came out on HD DVD first, and we didn't get the Blu-ray until way after. It was when Warners were flirting with both, and so this was out on HD DVD, and so I paid £25 for it, which was a lot back then for a single disc. Not anymore. But and if you bought it, you wanted to watch it, and so I saw this film again and again and again, and it had nothing to do with Halle Berry and a certain scene.
Not at all.
No, not at all. That was incidental.
Nope.
So again and again and again and again and again, I've seen this film countless times, but I haven't seen it for a long time. And I've got the Blu-ray. I did rebuy it, but I haven't seen it in the cinema room, and I haven't seen it for a long time. So this is then the 4K release. And I watched this after the movie we're going to talk about in a bit. And I do really like this film, and I think it is ridiculous in every way. It's ludicrous. It's dumb. It's almost insulting. Okay, and I get that, but I love it for all those reasons. And it's just very fun. And Travolta has never looked more cool smoking a cigarette. Sophia, don't smoke. All right, that's not cool, but it's just the way he does it is very cool. And you know they're clearly having a whale of a time filming this. So the film still holds up as well. It's not awful. It's not, one of those where you just think, what was I watching? I think it's still a lot of fun. And I did enjoy seeing it again, even though I know every word, every scene change, every single thing in this movie I know. So we then get the presentation. Now, I'm very pleased to say the 4K, first and foremost, is excellent. Now, it's razor sharp. The whole thing is filtered to all hell, so it either looks sickly green sort of golden hued or blue. Everything in this is shot with a filter. It's a bit odd, but it's deliberately done that way. And I have to say, it looks great. It really does. The costumes, the facial features, everything looks awesome. Travolta's wig has never looked less convincing. Sorry, more convincing. You can see every little thing in here, and some things of Halle Berry that you might not have seen before. So it's, or at least not in that kind of detail.
I'll be right back.
Forget the haptic. Actually, take the haptic thing.
Take the
haptic. Who could say?
I got F1 playing and one.
And all kinds of playing with the no.
Yeah, I'm pounding away on my keyboard.
Oh man! By the way, she apparently shot 2 versions of that scene, one with, one not, one without, because she wasn't sure whether she would let them use the one that they used, but she did. Anyway, so
clearly,
the movie looks great. It really does look good. And when you put this on, I think you'd be hard pressed to say it could look better. It looks awesome, and there's a lot of detail. Then you get the audio. Now, I was disappointed when I heard it was going to be DTS HD 5.1 and not Atmos. I mean, I was thinking if ever there's a movie that could use Atmos, it would be this, but it doesn't. So
yeah, that especially the scene right there with the marbles or whatever.
Exactly. Yeah, the ball bearings. Yeah,
such a great scene.
Quite. And that was the one I was really looking forward to seeing and curious about in DTS HD, because in the past we had, I think, a lossy Dolby Digital 5.1, Dolby True. Yeah, it wasn't True HD.
It's Dolby Digital 5.1. That's what on Kaleidoscape they typically have. And it's only on HD and Kaleidoscape, and it's the Dolby Digital 5.1.
So that's it. Yeah. So never having seen it then in lossless audio and then not mixed to a Neural X. So bearing in mind how much or how well I know this movie, and I do know it very well, the sound in this is as good as it could possibly be without a full-blown object-based mix. Now that scene, so your opening 360-degree explosion, sounds fantastic, and there are things in that I've never heard before. I've never heard the officers in that are screaming, and I've never heard that before. So as it goes, you can hear the individual voices screaming. And in the past, I've not heard that. I've not drawn that out. You can hear that discreetly, and of course they pan across the room as the thing moves around. You can hear stuff going behind you, so the various shrapnel going right across the room and behind you, and of course it's spinning as it goes. It's never been more chaotic or terrifying as it is in this. It's really, really good. And when you then get the car chase and the ridiculous M60, that all's got bass to it. Not, it's not, again, Lucy, it's not new bass, but it is bassy. And then you get the sequence with the flying bus at the end, which again sounds very cool, and you get stuff up and over in the overheads. It's very, very good indeed. So I was very pleased with this as an Arrow release, and some of them can be a bit hit and miss. We talked last week about the Friday the 13th, Jason Goes to Hell and Jason X, where they're better than they've ever looked before, but they're not great. Whereas this looks fantastic, and I think if you put this on someone who hadn't seen it, they'd think this was a brand new movie. They would not know that this is a movie that is 24 years old. I think most people would think, wow, isn't Hugh Jackman aging well? And because I genuinely think you would not know. It's that good. It's awesome. And as a cheesy film, I mean, to many people, I'm sure it's a guilty pleasure. To me, it's just a pleasure. It's well worth seeing. It really is. And if it drops on Kaleidoscape, grab it. John, if it comes onto it at a sensible price, revisit it. You won't wear out the cassette this time, at least. Right. That bit.
Yeah.
And Deej will have a new scene to make up for Kaleidoscape. He'll be happy.
Yeah, Halle Berry. I mean, she'd be great in Underworld if she wore latex, but she doesn't. So it's great.
It's not her in The Matrix, is it? It's
no.
Jada Pinkett Smith in The Matrix.
This came out shortly. What is it? 01. Right? X-Men was right before, so we've got Storm and Wolverine in a way you've never seen.
And you've got Vinnie Jones in it, so you've also got Juggernaut in it as well. So they would be back again in due course. Yeah, and Don Cheadle, of course. So you've got War Machine in it too. So he's in it. Marvel phone. Yeah,
years ahead. Don Cheadle wasn't. That was like what, 8 years later, 9 years later.
But it's really it is held up much better than I expected it to. Yeah, again, I mean, all the computer stuff's a bit silly, but it's still very, very good.
Oh yeah,
seen it, Paul.
I've had it on Kaleidoscape for a while, and I keep checking, especially when you put it in the group. I was like, oh, did it get the up? Because they do work with our. I'm like, oh, nope, not yet. But so yeah, while you were talking, I went on to Amazon. One way to guarantee it'll drop on Kaleidoscape soon is me buying it on Amazon. So I'll have it Thursday, and it'll probably drop on Kaleidoscape tonight.
Yeah, like, just keep it in its wrapping and return it.
Yeah, no, it'll sit right next to me on the desk here with all the other ones I've bought and then dropped.
Yeah, true. Okay, the raid is still there, isn't it?
Yep. Let's see. Desperado, raid.
The raid. What have you got? What's the post-it note on the raid say? Does it sell
cockatoo?
My koala.
No, yeah.
Tell Steve to get stuck.
No, it says 920. The penguin. Some note from the penguin. I don't know. And then John and I's favorite, Conan the Barbarian.
Oh, jeez.
See, I need to see that again. I like that film.
Yeah, Desperado.
Well, we did too.
I've seen it recently.
Oh, okay.
I still like it, but I
back in our chat days, we'd do a whole show on that, and it's like it was so funny. We don't talk ahead of time, and I was like, oh my god, he's gonna hate me. We came in and we both had the same opinion. I was like, thank God.
Yeah. That might have been the end.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah.
I know. Because we both were saying, and he was like, oh my God, I love this movie when we were younger, watched it on HBO all the time. Oh, wow, we loved it. And then we come in and sit down, and I'm like, I'm sorry, John. And he's like, me too.
I still need to get it, though. I do like it.
No, you don't.
No, I do. I know how dumb it is, but I do.
Put it up next to Midway.
It'll have some company.
Yeah.
You do need, seriously, you do need to unwrap the raid and see the raid. The raid.
I have it on Kaleidoscape.
Awesome. Have you seen it?
And it's all upgraded on Kaleidoscape. Cool. It's all upgraded. Yeah, it's just like I'm like, the theme of my show is push play, and that's the one thing I'm failing at. I had one job. All right.
No, Paul Hurt. Yes, see Swordfish, Paul, and report back. See what you think. It is well worth seeing. Yeah.
That was really good. All right. What else do we got? Come on.
I can do a quick one if you want to do a quick one before we get to that one. If you want to.
Which would be quicker for you? The one I've seen both of them. One of them I kind of resaw with you. But
we can do that, or we can do one of the older horrors, or we can do that one. Yeah, it's up to you, man. I've had one there for a few weeks that you were wondering about.
Well, do you want to wax on about this one? We'll save it till next week, or
there might not be a lot of waxing. We could do that.
Really?
Yeah, I will. Yeah. Do you want to do that? We can do it quickly if you want to.
All right. Well, you did take it in on Prime, so yeah. It's topical. So let's. All right. Here we go. I'm interested to hear what you have to say.
Yeah. Okay then. So this has dropped on Amazon Prime in the UK. There doesn't look like there's going to be a physical release here, a bit like they did with The Beekeeper. So this is Warfare on Amazon Prime in 4K and in UHD and in Dolby Atmos. I did check. I took this in yesterday, day before, whenever it was. Now, I've been dying to see this, and I was going to just import the US disc, but I saw this and I thought, you know what? Sod it. I've got some time. I've got to give this a watch. And so I put this on knowing that it was not going to be as good an experience as the disc would be. And even with all the things I'm about to say, I will import the disc. I'm going to import it when it comes out because I need to see the physical version. Okay. So I've been very much looking forward to this. This is just the alleged true story of a group of Navy SEALs in Iraq, 2006, I think it's supposed to be, where they go on a mission which goes wrong, and it's what happens next. And the whole thing is told from their perspective. We never really leave this group once we encounter them, which is unusual. And I've been very much looking forward to it because I've been told it was really graphic and really brutal, and I've been told that it was really realistic and really good. But I didn't find any of that. And I have to say, I was disappointed with this. It's only an hour and a half long, and I I was disappointed in it from a storytelling point of view, disappointed in it from a tactical point of view. I was disappointed from a filming point of view.
Really?
I didn't hate it. This is the thing, but it just disappointed me. I'm not angry.
Was it overhyped, do you think?
Well,
you think like if it hadn't been so overhyped, you would have been like,
had I stumbled across this like John did with Kingdom, if I just stumbled across it, then I think it would have been like, oh my God. But I didn't. And so I was aware of the praise that's been heaped on it. But, I don't know. I think, I was struggling with the idea that Navy SEALs would stand in front of a hole in the wall where someone's thrown a grenade and would still cross that bit and just stand there, that they'd stand in open doorways, that they'd stand in front of windows when people have been taking shots at them. And that was irritating me and taking me out of the film. And also from a movie point of view, there are shots down a street where there are people firing back at them. And it looked like Time Crisis to me. You had people kind of, the old video game, they sort of pop out from behind a building and shoot and go back, and then they'd be shooting. And it all looked like a video game at times. So now some of that will have been made, I think, a little bit more obvious for the stream. I mean, it's razor sharp. It looks, it looks okay, but it is very bright. And I think some of that might be the stream. I think that might be it. So it looks fake, and it is all CG. I mean, they show you at the end, it is all CG. So that didn't help. So I had issues with it. It also was nowhere near as brutal as I thought it was going to be. My goodness, I'd heard that it was going to be like, it's really hard to watch and this real violence.
I didn't think it was hard to watch, but there are some graphic scene stuff where they show insides out. And
but you need to see Terrifier 1, 2, and 3D. Once you've seen those,
this is my place. You can't compare to that.
so it's not.
You've seen it all, man.
Yeah, well, I'm telling you, man. Well, I've seen sights.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not. So I just didn't. I don't know, man. It just didn't have the presence.
It's just not the same. Have you ever made hamburger?
So it's not. The story wasn't great. It looks good. That's fine. So the home theater side of it looks good. The sound is very good, but not excellent. It's not reference on the stream, because I know there's bass. I know there is, because you get some bass when the fast movers come in, the show of force, as you were talking about. It does move. There is sound, but it doesn't shake the room. It goes so quick that you don't get that chance. You don't really feel it rumble. That it's not June, it's not Lucy. You don't feel the walls going.
God.
Time. And the two times that it does it just goes by, and you're like, okay, I heard the bass.
Well, but that's the thing, is I told you, they do it 3. They actually do it 3. There's 2 that really rock the room, but the middle one, they actually pan away. You don't get to see them come down the street, but they call for it. It happens, but you're in the room on that one. So it's a different feel. And when I experience it, it's like the way they did that, I thought they did on purpose for that home theater experience, to be like, this is in the street, and you're like, it literally was like, and I know part of it is the image of it coming down, and it's your brain going, oh my God, I felt that push on me. It doesn't, but you feel it. But then when you're in the room like they are, and it does, it's impactful in the room too. It's just a different feel. And I think too, where you don't experience the dynamics on the stream, those scenes when they do get the concussion and the, sound and they lose hearing, it's not as big of a drop to you because you weren't as high in the first place.
Exactly. Yeah, that's right. I mean, there is bass when they're firing their again, I don't know what you call them. They look like M60s, but they're not, because there'll be a new version. But when they're firing that and they're firing it close to the camera, you can feel, there is bass. It's all there, but it's not, as I say, absolutely. You don't feel the walls shaking kind of thing like you do with some of the others. So it was very good sound, but not reference, not excellent. I still think Tomorrow War had better bass and more consistent bass than this, and that's an Amazon one as well. So looked really good, but not excellent. Sounded really good, but not excellent. And the movie was disappointing. But I'm gonna get the 4K disc because I want to see it properly. I'll still have issues with the tactical side of it. Again, I still can't work out why Navy SEALs don't stay away from the windows when people are shooting at you.
But it's funny. I've actually met people that have they weren't SEALs, like Rangers. I've listened to enough podcasts and what I got from that was kind of what I've heard and felt talking to people, and it's that there's this mentality when we go it, like the United States goes into places like this, that most of the people firing back at them aren't trained as well. They're not as fearful, and it's part of their training. It's also part of what they know, and they're like, yep, here they come. Okay, they can't hit the broadside of a barn. They're like stormtroopers, right? They can't hit anything. And it's like, I've talked to people privately and literally heard it in podcasts and been like, because I've heard it in podcasts first, and I asked people, and like, is that real? Do you really? And they're like, yeah, that's legit. It's like you feel like that, like they're just firing to fire. So those scenes there, I felt like were reflective of that. They're like, yeah, we're not worried. And it's like, because at any time the whole building could blow up, is what you could find out too.
But would you as a soldier bet your life on that? They're automatic bullets, any guns, any one of those is a lucky shot that could kill you. Why would you stand in a window or stand in an open door? It's just like, I was almost shouting at the screen going, get into cover, you bloody idiot. It's just, and also one of the holes, they've stuck a grenade through it. And yet they're still going, oh, let's just stand here while we talk about our feelings. And you're thinking, they've just put a grenade, at least block that hole.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. And so it
could be like complacency, because it's a true story. So I don't know.
SEALs.
But the people that were, did you see the end when they showed the actors with the actual people? And it's like, I can't imagine that they were like, we're making this movie, but we're going to make you look stupid. Right. Well, they might have been like, no, that's the way we were. That's the way it was. I don't know. Yeah. But I didn't look at it that way. That's all. I just was like,
fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah. I'd love to find out. It's like, here's some more information from. I wonder if there's something else.
Yeah, but it's this tactical awareness. It's kind of how you imagine these guys are. They're supposed to be the elite, the best of the best, and and I would know not to stand in front of a window, not to stand in an open doorway when I've just had people shooting at me, or indeed a grenade stuck through a hole in the wall, and I'll just stand right there. I don't know, and that didn't help. But it's not the be all end all. But when someone markets this as, we've got two directors, we've got a soldier who was there, he's doing all the soldiering stuff, and then we've got the director who's going to direct it, and I'm thinking, didn't someone go, yeah, should we be stood there? So I don't know. I mean, Deej, you could be right. That might be how they do things in real life, but I'd be very surprised. And if they did, I would have been the commanding officer going, get away from the windows, you bloody idiot. And then I'd be like, I'd have been the first one shot by my own troops.
Probably, yeah.
Blue.
Go to AV Nirvana on YouTube. Todd did a Base Hunters for this movie as well. So I'll actually, I'm going to link that in the chat right now. It's
Paul says, I think the co-writer, I forgot his name. Yeah, it was, I have as well. Who was part of the team, admitted they made a lot of mistakes. Yeah, but there's mistakes, and then there's just being like, what the hell? I mean, I know I'm not a soldier. John, he's got soldiering experience. He'll be able to tell us.
Yeah, John, he knows what to do with a bayonet.
Yeah. Would you have stood in front of a window when there was automatic rifles being fired at you?
Not unless I had a bayonet.
Yeah.
It's just so odd. I don't know. Don't forget to copy down that link.
Yeah. Hurry up. Copy that down.
Hurry.
I love that.
All right.
So I will re-review it when I get the disc, which I will get, and I am looking forward to it. So,
I'll be interested to see if like the in-theater experience enhances the movie for you, Steve.
Oh, it definitely will. It definitely will. It'll sound and look better for sure. But I'm not sure it'll necessarily fix the issues with the movie, but we will see. We will see.
Maybe it will.
Maybe there's a we stay out of the Windows edition. Right. Press one now.
It's kind of boring. Nobody gets hurt. Right. Nothing happens.
Yeah. We don't step on the IED in this one. We just go.
Right. It's just okay. Call for an Uber and go home.
Done. Yeah.
You Uber ourselves right out of there. Oh, all right. You want to pull up this one?
Yeah. Come on. Let's do this.
All right. Here we go.
Oh. Do you want to intro it, Deej, or do you want me to?
Sure. Both Steve and I watched the new drop of 4K. I watched it on Kaleidoscape, 4K Dolby Vision, Dolby Atmos, Kingdom of Heaven Roadshow Director's Cut.
Oh, yeah.
From what year was this one?
Oh no, 2000 and
yeah, it was like
3,
fairly recent, more like 05 or something like that, I think.
You might be right. Let me see. 2000. I'm gonna look. I'll look. I'm gonna cheat.
Yeah. That's but yeah, it yep,
2005. Good man. Yeah, well done.
Yep.
All right. You win.
Kingdom of Heaven director's cut. Yeah, the room for director's cut. 3 hours and 14 minutes.
Oh yes.
Yeah. I haven't seen it. I saw the original. I haven't seen it in years. Obviously, I don't think I've seen it since it came out. But yeah, so I wouldn't even know what the difference is because I didn't see the director's cut before. But when I had started watching this before you had put it in. So I was really excited. I'm like, oh, goody. This is all right. Diggity. Yeah, hot diggity. So I thought, I mean, there are parts of this that look gorgeous. I thought it was for 3 hours and 14 minutes. I thought there was some inconsistencies in the picture.
Good. Yes. All right. Phew.
Yeah. I thought there were parts that were gorgeous, but then there were other parts where it was like the lighting. I don't know if it was, it just didn't, the lighting didn't look right. It looked like a little washed out at times, but then there were other times where the chainmail or the costumes, if you will, whatever, the detail that you could see looked gorgeous. That was just like, oh my God. And then you really get into it and then you're like, oh, wait, okay, this isn't, but I'm like, maybe this is part of the director's cut issue or something like that. These are images that that weren't in the original. I don't know. Overall, I thought it was good, like really good. I enjoyed the entire thing, the entire movie, and the audio as well, I thought was pretty much on par with that. I wasn't blown away by it. I thought here's what's funny. One of the reasons I kind of remembered the 2005 is I felt like it was an older movie. And then I was like, oh, wow. This is
it is. It's back in Jerusalem days. It's a really old movie.
Yeah. It's like, it's amazing they had the cameras.
Houses were way less than $50.
Yeah. There were no cars, no guns, nothing.
Nope. It was, it just felt like, it was like something like if you saw like, what was the one, not King Arthur, the one from like the 80s, the sword with the, Excalibur.
Oh, okay.
Remember Excalibur? And I loved that movie. And it just felt like it was from like that time period with the audio and video in it. I wasn't exactly blown away by it. And it took me like, 3 sittings to get through it at 3:14.
Yeah. Long fun.
But what did you think?
Okay. Well, I've seen this movie many times.
Okay.
Yeah. There is no theatrical cut of this. The theatrical cut does not exist in this dojo. Okay. The theatrical one is not, it is not a movie. This is one of those films where it is the director's cut or the roadshow cut, or it's nothing. You cannot watch the theatrical version. And to answer your not asked question about the differences, Deej, there is an hour of extra footage in the director's cut. This is not, scene extensions. It's not, Ridley Scott says at the beginning on the disc, this is not where someone just comes into a room and we've left that in. This is a whole hour. You never find out in the theatrical version why Sibylla goes crazy. You never find out what happens to her son in the theatrical one. She just goes nuts and you don't know why. The whole ending, the whole fight sequence at the end is gone in the theatrical one. You never see Guy de Lucien again after he's captured by Salah ad-Din in the theatrical one. That's it. He just goes. Yeah. So in this, the director's cut is the only one to see. Now, I've seen it many times, and I've seen it recently. In fact, I reviewed it not that long ago on the show, the Blu-ray, because I'd had the American one, and then I bought the English one because it's just better to play it on the Oppo. So I've seen it many, many times. The director's cut's great, and I happen to think this movie, in its director's cut form, is tantamount to a masterpiece for me. It's not Gladiator in terms of Ridley Scott's historical epics, but it's not far off in this format, this version. And I know it very well. And I had read from a number of people, including Ralph Potts, actually, that it was a very good remaster. So that was my only issue coming in. I knew I'd enjoyed the movie. The issue is, what was it going to look and sound like? And I had heard very good things, and Ralph was really pleased with it, as were a number of other reviewers. So I put it on, and I was expecting Gladiator or Gladiator 2 in terms of the remaster, the video, and that is not what I got. And I have to say, when it first came on, I was thinking, oh my God, bearing in mind I know it so well, I was expecting three-dimensional, razor sharp, and I've been spoiled by Warner Brothers. It's their fault. Because of Pale Rider and The Outlaw Josie Wales and Dirty Harry and movies like this that are older films that have been given a really razor sharp remaster, I was expecting that with this, and it's not what you get. And I was disappointed in some of it, not all of it, as you say, but some of it was just downright, this might be the Blu-ray. And that shook me a bit. It really did. I was not ready for that. Now there is some lovely detail at times, like you say, chainmail. Some of the longer shots in the desert. And
I thought the darker scenes were really nice. The battle scenes where they're firing the flames, and it's like there were some really dark scenes that were well lit for that. Like almost like reminded me of like, Game of Thrones, long night, really dark, but you could see everything, and the blues and everything looked really nice. And then you have the flame or whatever was being fired. It was like, especially when they pull back and you see the full battlefield and everything going on. Those look, that's where I was like, this is gorgeous. But then there were some well lit scenes that I was like, they kind of like, it's too much. You were missing contrast there. It seemed to be a little washed out, almost like, where you take a picture and the light's hitting the lens, right? And it can wash out what you're trying to shoot a picture of. That's what they would, and it wasn't that bad. I'm just using that as an example, but it was inconsistent.
But even some of the sort of the close-ups that I thought, well, these are going to look razor sharp, they're bound to, didn't look all that good. There were times when it all looked very soft, and it's just not what I was expecting. It's not terrible by any means, but it's not Gladiator. It's not, again, these older movies that we've had that have been remastered that now look razor sharp. This does not throughout that time. And it's a 100 gig disc as well. So it should do out, my version obviously should do. So the video was a bit disappointing. Now the audio was definitely better, I would say. I don't think it's reference. I'm not going to go digging this out to demo it to people. But there is some lovely shots. There's some nice incidental stuff. I like the opening kind of fight sequence in the forest where you can hear the chittering of the birds and the clicking of the leaves. And once the arrows start flying, they really do go right round the room. And that was quite cool. And then there's some nice little incidental shots. There's a sequence where Orlando Bloom is talking to Salahadin, and they're talking about what's going to happen. And a couple of the characters have got flags, and you can hear the flags in the overhead, which was quite cool. That was quite a nice little thing. And I did like when the fireballs start going. The opening of that, of course, is a long shot where they come up and over, and you hear them go at the, come towards you and then go right over the top into the overheads and into the back of the room, which is quite cool. And when the sword starts swinging and clanking, it goes right round. So the audio's again very good, just not excellent.
Right.
It's not for me reference, which was a little disappointing, but I was more disappointed by how it looked than how it sounded. It sounded good. It looked just inconsistent. I think it's a really good word that you used to describe it, because I think that's how I felt as well. And I was a bit disappointed by this disc. And that was really bad for me. I've been really looking forward to getting this, because as I said, I think the movie's a masterpiece in this format, and it's just not the kind of be-all end-all disc that I hoped it would be. That's more my problem for having those expectations, which were they were higher than the flags and the overheads. Those expectations were ludicrously high. So that's more my fault. And it may be when I rewatch this in a few months that I'll go in with suitably adjusted.
Watch some streaming for a little bit before, and then come into this and you're like, ooh, look at that.
You know what? Again, I hesitate to mention the glasses, but when I was at university last week, when I had watched this, and it was on my mind, and I'm thinking, what is it that's wrong with it? I went onto the Disney Plus version, which is the theatrical one, put that on the glasses, and there are bits of that look a bit better than this. So just again, it's the immersion and the size of it, and they looked a bit more three-dimensional, and I was like, ooh. So, but there we go. But as I said, I am glad I've got it. It is the way to own it because it is, it's the best version there'll be. But I think it could have been better. But that's me being a bit nitpicky, maybe.
Yeah, you mentioned the download, the 100 gig disc. Kaleidoscape has Dolby Vision's 107.3 gigs.
Okay.
The 4K HDR 10 is 104.1. 4K SDR is 101.6, and HD is just 59.4 gigs. So it is a fairly large file. It's like
what's a long film?
Yeah, exactly. So
but it's great. It's a good film, and anyone in the chat. I mean, I know there's people in there talking about it, but anyone in the chat really should see it if you haven't seen it.
It's
bother with the theatrical one, but
right. The other thing is it's 100. It says 114, but you can eliminate a little bit of that with the the music, the epilogue at the beginning.
That's the roadshow version. Yeah, only in the roadshow one, the director's cut.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then the intermission. There's a long intermission in there that you're like, skip ahead. Okay, still going. Do.
So. Have you seen it, John? Have you seen this?
I have only ever seen the theatrical cut.
Oh man, I mean, again, unfortunately, Disney Plus is the theatrical one, which is a shame. But if you get a chance to see the director's cut, give it a go. I think you'll enjoy it. Again, with your sort of more historical eye as well. I think you'll get a kick out of it. And how look with what's going on in the world right now, this has historical relevance to it.
Yeah, sure does.
They're still fighting over this land, but it is really worth seeing it. If you like Gladiator and movies like that, this is. Ridley Scott firing on all cylinders. But it, like I said, just because I know it as well as I do and I wanted more, that's why I think I'm disappointed. I think if you come to it fresh, you might enjoy it a lot more. But there we go. Yeah. Luckily, it didn't cost me £75.
Yeah,
there you go.
Exactly.
Yep, exactly.
Alrighty.
Saved a little money there. All right. Look at that. We went a little bit over.
But we
and
can breathe
still comfortable. We can breathe and we can relax. Steve, you're getting to bed early. It's dark out now.
It is. We've seen the sun go down together. Look, that's very romantic.
That was a kumbaya. There we go.
Steve after dark.
Steve, Oh no, we're getting out of here before we do that. It's like I've seen your head turn into an apple once too many times today. In my comments, you're like. Just they're bright red.
Oh yeah.
So, what was I going to say? The one for next week. I'm like 3/4 of the way through it on Netflix. If you guys want to try it, Back in Action. Back in Action.
Oh,
with with Cameron Diaz and what's his name?
I don't. Look, I don't even know what you're talking about.
It's an action.
I've seen a thing to it. Yeah, I think I've seen a thing to it. I know what you mean.
Yeah, and she also didn't she do the one with Tom Cruise?
Yeah,
similar type thing.
Night and Day.
Night and Day. That's right. I liked that movie too. This is like a little bit. You've never seen Night and Day?
No.
Oh wow, it's fun. It's fun. Along like would that come out same time as Mr. and Mrs. Smith? All those like
probably, but it's not as good as Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
No. But it's a Tom Cruise movie. It's kind of, I mean, I believe he had relatives in Boston in that one, something like that. But
Cameron Diaz.
Jamie Foxx. There you go. Sorry, Jamie Foxx. He's awesome. I love him. He's awesome in this. I just like him, like comedically. He's just so funny. It's basically they're spies that basically become parents and just stop the spy game. And obviously, I'm surprised Mark Wahlberg isn't in it. It's like one of those where it's like, oh, okay. Yeah, exactly. Just do it.
He hasn't grown his hair back yet. From a flight risk,
Exactly. It's kind of fun so far. I want to see how it wraps up. But home theater wise, I have experience on the glasses. I started on the glasses, watched it in the theater, watched a little more on the glasses. So, I'll finish it up for next week and we'll talk about it. But if anybody wants to jump on.
I've got an absolute ton of stuff for next week, including the most expensive Blu-ray or 4K disc. But I've got an interesting one that I've not heard of. Have you guys seen Black Bag?
I've heard of it, but I have not seen it.
Yeah, man, I hadn't heard of it at all until yesterday, where Jordan mentioned it. It's
Black Bag.
Yeah, this is it.
I haven't heard of it.
I have. It's on one of the streamers. Yeah, it's on one of the streamers.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I've seen it.
Yeah,
Michael Fassbender. Yeah.
It looks good. I just haven't seen it.
Yeah, I hadn't even heard of it until yesterday, and then Jordan mentioned it, and I watched the trailer and I said, "This is great." And then realized it's been on Apple forever. But it came out here
Michael Fassbender, Steven Soderbergh.
Yeah.
And it's on Kaleidoscape for $20
for next week as well in 4K disc. The Nice Guys.
Came
out here yesterday. Yeah,
that's great.
Which Todd had never heard of, fellas, until yesterday.
Todd who? How has he never heard of Nice Guys?
He's now bought it. He cha-chinged.
Come on,
from
buddy.
Atlantic yesterday, so he's bought it now on Kaleidoscape because it's on. This one's on there. So,
how has he heard of Iron Eagle and he hasn't heard of Nice Guys?
Yes, he has now got it. Hopefully, he will have seen it fairly soon.
Yeah. So you just grabbed out on 4K?
Yeah, it came out yesterday. Yeah.
Okay.
The new second sight version.
Okay.
So we got that one yesterday and Black Bag. I picked them both up yesterday. And Witness has come out here, but no one can get it. So once that surfaces, I'm going to try and watch that as well because I love that movie. Yeah. So that's another one that is proving hard to get hold of over here. But I've got enough to be going on with.
Yeah, I just looked up Nice Guys. I already own it on Kaleidoscape.
Yeah. Has it been upgraded HDR. Then? Presumably,
I own it in 4K HDR.
Oh, sweet. Oh, nice.
HDR 10. No Dolby Vision or anything, and DTS Master Audio 5.1.
Oh, nice. Well, yeah. So Tom bought it yesterday.
Good for him. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to watching it again. I did talk about it on the show not that long ago, but the 4K version should be great. I think
that's probably when I bought it. If I think of it, it's probably when I bought it. I was like, oh yeah, I love that movie. Still haven't watched it, so we'll see.
Yeah. So there we go. So plenty to watch for next week. And as I said, including the mystery expensive movie, which, as I said, you two will know about before then. That's straight to the top of the list. It has to be for that kind of cost.
Perks of being on the show.
Advance notice. But both of you will approve. That's for sure.
Oh God. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm actually kind of excited. I don't know why. I'm kind of excited for Jurassic Park with Dolby Vision. I don't know why. Some of those special effects, see if it feels any different. I've seen that movie so many times.
Oh yeah.
That's like ridiculous how many times I've seen that Laserdisc. How many times you're trying to get that glass of water to shake in your theater? Nope.
And then realize it didn't even do that when they couldn't even. They had to shake the table. Yeah, it was a guitar string underneath the glass, so it's on there. Yeah, you can see it if you look closely. And they pinged it, and it was that sent the vibration through.
Yeah.
Sorry, did I ruin it?
No, I knew that. I knew they had done something. Yeah. It wasn't like you can't get that to do that.
No.
Jordan saying the 4K disc of Nice Guys is a different transfer than the 4K disc in the US.
How's it cooler then? Yeah.
It's different. It didn't say better. It's like
that means cooler.
Yeah, it's like, well, Ford Pinto is different from a Ferrari. I mean, it's better than the Ferrari.
Which is the Ferrari? Your one or our one?
Yeah. All right.
There we go. All righty. Yeah, early finish. Yay.
Look at you. All right. That'll do it then. Steve could get all tucked in nice and early.
Get the teddy bear ready.
All coat. We did Father's Day with my kids.
Got him ready for bed. He's ready for bed.
There you go. We did Father's Day yesterday with my kids, and I guess Greg was talking to Meg. They was like driving there or whatever, and he's like, "Oh my God, I just hit a teddy bear in the road," and Meg goes, "A real one?" we're all cracking up. It was like, what's a fake one?
Are we sure there wasn't a child attached to it?
Well, it was like, what? Huh? So yeah, pretty funny.
Talking of Greg, can I just say, right? And I need to apologize to
what did he do?
Generally, no.
What'd you do?
No, it occurred to me on the Wednesday, so after the show, the theater they built for you. How did we not call that a movie trailer?
Oh my God. Yeah.
I was very disappointed in myself.
Yeah.
That only occurred to me about 2 o'clock.
Because you have the homeless home theater.
Next day.
Speaking of which, I do have that now. I have the image. Let's talk about that. Because Steve, do you have a moment?
I do.
You do. Okay.
I do.
Let me see. Let me see if I can find it. If I saved it here. Did I save it to my? Let me see.
So yeah, how we didn't call it the movie trailer, I do not know.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah. That's hysterical. That's great. Yeah. I gotta find where. You sent it to me last. There it is. Yeah. All right.
Oh, we got it.
Well, I'll just put it up.
Is that the Jurassic Park music? That's what I heard.
Yeah, exactly.
You are looking forward to watching it.
Drop that in there. Nope. Let me see.
That's another question for another day, isn't it? The best movie music of all time. We must do that. In terms of a theme. I know you'll say Star Wars, but other than that.
Yeah. The theme? Oh, yeah.
Because I think Jurassic Park is possibly the greatest one of all time. I actually I love that music. How that begins.
Raiders.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Raider. Yeah. They're all iconic.
Yeah. John Williams.
Terminator.
Oh.
I mean, yeah. All right. Here it is. Oh, that ain't it.
Oh.
There we go. So there it is. That's the logo.
I was going to say, I don't see anything.
Yeah, me neither.
Now I see it.
Yeah. You see it?
I do see it. Yeah, but it took me a minute. I was like, what am I looking at? I don't see it.
Yeah, I thought you forgot to put the picture up.
No. Yeah, the Homeless Theater, Brightside Homeless Theater. But you see, he's got the Patreon logo behind the first two people.
And then the stack,
and then the hobo stick.
Yeah.
Like you're homeless.
That's funny.
So you're like, so like when this house sells, if I'm not in another house and I'm homeless, this will be our logo until I get into my house. Awesome. So it was funny how he put all that detail in it.
The pedant in me has to say that theater's spelt wrong, Deej. I mean, come on.
Do you know how many people, like, if I give out my email, they're like, how come you didn't get the email? And people over here are like, I'll be like, here, I just give out DJ at Brightside Home Theater. So when I check the most, so I'll give it out to people. And they were like, how come you're not getting to my emails? And I'll look, I'm like, show me what you sent. And they'll be like, and they spell it R-E. I go, where are you? I'm like, you're in the United States. It's like, what are you doing? It's like, if you're in Canada, like Montreal or something, maybe, but yeah.
Do you know what? Whenever I'm tweeting anything about theater, home theater, whatever it might be, part of me is always, right, how do I spell it? How should I spell it? Should I spell it the right way or the American way? And it's sometimes kind of tricky to do it. I do stress about that.
Yeah, you guys screw everything up.
You screwed it up first. You screwed it up after.
Only they had it first.
Yeah. But how theater is like, it should be ER, no? Theater, not theater ray.
Well, it comes from théâtre, doesn't it? It's French. And we've lost Dom now. He's gone, so he can't jump in.
Okay.
But it's a French word, isn't it? It's théâtre.
What you're not telling everybody is you screwed it up real bad. You kept typing Brightside Cinema.
Yeah. Brightside Movies.
Brightside Movies. So
yeah. There we go. Anyway,
there was the logo.
We need to come back to that music thing then. I think we need to find our definitive movie theme. We've never done that.
All right. We're going to do that for next week. We'll start with that next week.
Yeah, let's do it. I want to do it.
Okay.
We can do that.
Yeah, and then, email me, DJ at Brightside Home Theater ER.com. Give me your suggestion and we'll read a few. Cool. All right. Look at that. Very relaxed. We can let the show flow. There we go. And Steve is so happy. So much better. Still awake. Sun is down and he's awake.
Oh, yeah.
All right. That's it for everybody. We will be back next week. An hour early. We will be, not an hour earlier than this week. We're not just keep on going through the afternoon.
We're going to keep every week. We're going to be pretty soon. It'll be 7
lunch hour.
Brightside breakfast. So yeah, we'll be back next week, 4 p.m. Eastern time. Figure it out with your location, but hour earlier than normal from now on. So there we go. All right. Thank you, everybody. We will be back Until next time, you know what you got to do.
Go push play.
What he said.
That's right.
Hey, Fred.
This has been a Hey Fred production with theme music by Jeff Bernhardt and Throne Vault Productions.